Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. We have three very interesting news to render. One has to do with the fact that Labour Party is in the center of some sort of issues that is really worrisome, as within 100 days, several LP Labour Party lawmakers have been sacked. The question is, why? Is this going to be a trend? It's becoming very worrisome. Of course, there seems to be some sort of anxiety as President Bola Tinubu gets 48 hours ultimatum to reverse the ban, which is a journalist ban in Aso Rock. We're going to find full details. Who are those people giving him 48 hours ultimatum? Then, of course, the former Senate president, who most Nigerians will say started this whole procedure of what Nigerians are beginning to see and becoming a norm now, is in talks with Bola Tinubu over the situation of hardship in the country, and is literally telling in closed doors. Of course, we're going to get also the full details of what is telling Mr. President. But let's start with what's going on in Labour Party. Just 100 days in office, and some of the lawmakers are already sacked. Let's hit the ground running. Now, in 2023 general election, it saw emergence of third force, which is actually Labour Party. And to make matters interesting, many political pundits have referred to the Labour Party, its presidential candidate Peter Obi, as the third force, considering their success in the last election. The Labour Party won a reasonable number of seats in the Senate and the House of Representatives, while its presidential candidate Obi defeated President Bola Tinubu in his Lagos state base. Now, also, the Labour Party became a threat to the PDP in the southeast, a region considered the strongest hold of the leading opposition party. And the remarkable success gave the Labour Party the status of the third force. However, within 100 days of the new democratic dispensation that began on Monday, the 29th of May, the tribunal sacked two elected lawmakers. Now, we're going to give you quick details on the two. One already have reacted. Okay, well now, one of them is actually Ngozi Okoli, who was actually sacked as a member of the House of Representatives representing Aniocha Oshimili Federal Constituency on Labour Party platform on Monday, July 24th, barely 2 months after the 10th National Assembly was inaugurated. The National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal in Delta State sacked Okoli on the grounds that he was not a member of the Labour Party when the party nominated him, and therefore declared Ndudi Elumelu the candidate of the PDP, who came second in the election, as the winner of the polls. Now, another person is Sowunmi Sheyi, who became the second victim, who was sacked within 100 days in office on Thursday, August 25th, by the National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Lagos State. And the lawmaker representing Ojo Federal Constituency, Lagos State, in the House of Representatives was sacked for the same reason. Okoli's victory was nullified by the tribunal sitting in Delta State, which is that he was not a member. Now, if you watch this trend, it's worrisome, because one would agree with me that this Apapa Arambabi saga is really taking its tolls on the posts and position already occupied by those who won their seat in Labour Party. If they continue like this, within the house, Arambabi and Apapa are doing the job that one would call a dirty job, that the main opposition or even the ruling party would have loved to do, but this time around, they're doing it within themselves. I don't know how Labour Party is reacting to this, but I think they should, try and see how they can stop this now, before they will discover that almost all the seats they have won, one way or the other, within internal squabbles, they're losing it all out. Okay, let's quickly hit the ground running for the second news, and that has to do with the anxiety going on in Aso Rock. Very quickly, according to the news, President Bola Tinubu has been issued 48 hours ultimatum to restore 25 suspended journalists from reporting from the presidential villa. Wasirab, in a statement today, urged the president to reverse the ban and restore their accreditation with immediate effect. Now, the group asked President Tinubu to publicly order officials at the presidential villa to allow the media houses and their journalists to operate. Now, Aso Rock Abuja, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SIRAP, has called on President Bola Tinubu to quickly reverse the ban on 25 journalists. Now, according to the news, the accountability group also added that the president should restore their credibility with immediate effect. Now, for some of us who don't know what happened, the federal government has withdrawn the accreditation of some 25 journalists from reporting activities from the presidential villa in Abuja. And the group stated that the banned journalists are from Vanguard, On TV, MITV, Prompt News, Liberty, Ben TV, Galaxy TV, and ITV Abuja. It maintained that the action means that the journalists and media houses have been prevented from exercising their legitimate duties as specified in the Constitution. Let me quote word for word. Your administration cannot with one broad stroke ban journalists from covering public functions. Citizens' access to information and participation would mean little if journalists and media houses are denied access to the seat of government. It further stated that the cornerstone of democracy or Nigerian democracy is media freedom, and journalists must be allowed to hold the people in government accountable. Now, in another news, very quickly, Ahmed Lawan is now seeing the situation of things, especially in northern Nigeria, is literally telling this to Bola Tinubu now, as in it's now an urgency. And the former Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, has called on the federal government to cushion the hardship people are going through in the country following the removal of fuel subsidy. Lawan made a call some few hours ago during the distribution of rice and millet to the 9,000 vulnerable persons, orphans, widows, Muslims, and Christian community in Gwasha, the headquarters of Bade local government area of Yobe State. And according to him, some people find it difficult to give their families 3 square meals in a day, adding that some might even spend 2 days without anything to cook for their families. And Lawan said the distribution of the grains was to serve as palliatives in reducing the hardship in the country. That's what Nigerians are literally saying. This one is the one that Lawan knows. Nigerians are generally going through hard times. The first subsidy is, well, for those of them in the government and corridor of power, they may not understand the dimension of the hardship. This one is the case of higher dimension hunger bad. But literally, let's quickly, look at very quickly what is going on in Labour Party. It's a cause for concern. I think the likes of Abure and those in their, stakeholders really need to look into this Aram Babia Papa matter. They are still doing the squabbles. The seat they have won successfully, they're losing it. Bit by bit, they're losing it. And it just comes before you know it. I just hope that we'll not get to practice a one-party system eventually in this country. I guess that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take?